From concern of one project under question to a number of others that the president has now signed proclamations for. The SIU will be investigating maladministration at Transnet, at 2 municipalities, as well as a provincial department. This is in line with what the president would have signed and given the green light to get to the bottom of some serious graft allegations at those particular entities. We speak now to Kaza Kanyago on behalf of the SIU. Good to have you. Thank you very much for your time. It's proclamations 181 to 184, but 184 being that of Transnet in particular. There are 2 or 3 maybe areas that you would need to investigate there. One is the reinstatement of the CEO. 2, it's the procurement of goods and services. And then 3, of course, is one particular security contract that you would need to look at there. What were the challenges, particularly in those 3 areas?
Thank you very much, Tawa, and thank you to your viewers. In the first instance, we got a whistleblower coming to us to indicate that there was a problem in the reinstatement. You remember at the time the CEO, Mr. Gama, was removed as CEO, and then he was then reinstated in 2011 February, and then under those circumstances, they even paid his legal costs. Therefore, that is what we followed or not. And then on the other matter that you were referring to is the issue of when there was a serious challenge with the cable theft in Transnet. They hired a company called Abaluzi Security, but also the whistleblower indicated that the processes were not followed. But also in terms of accommodation, you'll remember Transnet has been leasing accommodation all over the country. I think last week, if not 2 weeks ago, there was another proclamation that was specifically mentioning the issues that were happening in KwaZulu-Natal. Therefore, this one also covers others that are not only in KwaZulu-Natal, but in all the other areas.
Looking at all these 4 matters, I mean, a large number of them would entail details of things that would have happened in this one, in particular, 2011, another one, 2015, 2018. Yes, there's more recent ones. If you look at the Brandfort Water Treatment Works, which you're looking at 2020, and the Bradford Sports Centre, you're looking at 2020 there. Do you have now documentation to be able to go back that far?
Definitely we do. You must remember, Thabo, when whistleblowers come to us, we request certain documentation from them, and then we do what we call preliminary investigation to ascertain whether there is something to investigate. Therefore, by the time we draft the proclamation to the president, we are comfortable that there is something that we need to investigate, and we have got documents. Therefore, the other documents, we will get them when the investigation starts.
So if you look at the 2 municipalities and the Human Settlements Department in Gauteng, these are infrastructure projects. And there's something clearly that happens at these infrastructure projects that allows, I suppose, for the system to be done in such a way that it's not fair, equitable, transparent, and maybe in some instances not completely cost effective. If you were to give us a number of those infrastructure projects, what would they be costing, or what would have they cost those municipalities and the department?
Yeah, at the moment, we don't have the figure except the contract figures that were put together. Therefore, I don't want to get into those details. But what I can say now to you is that, for an example, if you look at Umzumbe, almost all the constructions that were done during that period, 2015 to 2018, were not done in a fair manner. Because sometimes it's not even about the amount of money that is spent, but also a situation where people are giving this contracts only to their own people. And therefore, they then don't look at Section 209 of the Constitution that deals with things being fair and to everybody. But at the end of it all of this were provided, and the documentation around how the processes were followed were given to us, and we have now put this proclamation so that we are able to then go and investigate all of this. You can see in Mzumbe, for example, there are 7 contracts that are being scrutinized. Yeah. And in the other one, there are 2 of them, and so on and so on.
So, I mean, 6 roads here in Mzumbe that would have needed to be rehabilitated, an indoor center that would have needed to be built. There's an electrification project as well that would have spent for 3 years. Are there any instances of non-performance here, or is it poor performance, or is it defective performance? For example, on the 6 roads, is there any road that was rehabilitated at all with the money that was spent?
That is what we are going to be looking into. But what we have as information is that there was issues of how the services were rendered, because there was a lot of collusion that was happening between officials and the service providers. Therefore, most of the money did not go to what it was supposed to do. Because at the end of it all, when we do the investigation, even when the road it's fine and we look at and follow the money, we are able to see that it was overpriced purely because there were people who had to benefit out of it.
And as far as the question that is always asked is whether or not in any of these instances, are the people who would have been cited by the whistleblowers still working at Transnet, still working for the Mzumbe municipality, or still working at the Brandfort municipality?
Some of them might still be there, but even if you're not there and involved in criminal activities, that will follow you.